folks, welcome back to Indie Films Backstage out here at the Indie Gathering. And folks, I have got a very special guest with us tonight. Heather, thank you so much for joining us on the show. It's kind of a guilty pleasure. I've gotten to work with you now a couple of times and dragging you on the show. And literally I had to drag her dog. No, she reached out. She was like, let's do it. And I'm like, okay. But thank you so much for joining us. It is a true pleasure. For the folks that weren't lucky enough to be here this weekend and get to know you, or the folks that are happen to be watching that already know you, still introduce yourself. Tell us what brought you out to Indie Gathering this year.
I'm Heather Bayles, and I have 5 projects. Well, 6? Oh, no, 5. I don't know.
We're going to call it 6 because I like it, you know.
A couple projects that either I wrote and filmed or I acted in.
It's, you know.
It's all a blur.
It's all. Well, you got that many. I mean, you're like 5, 6, I don't know. Not to brag. No,
You asked.
I did. That's my fault. No, I'm just kidding. So let's take one by one. Maybe we'll figure it out. It's actually 10 by the time we're done here.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit on one by one. What's one of the first ones you want to bring up?
Well, right now in that room over there is a feature film that I was in last year called In the Hands of Fate.
Oh,
I was kind of like a very small support role in that.
Okay.
I played the part of Amber. I was the lead's like ex-wife and had a couple scenes in that. So.
Very cool, and that's screening here tonight. So that's it, actually literally right now, folks. So if you're watching this, shame on you. You should be in there watching that. I'm just kidding. If you're probably watching this, it's been like 3 months. I don't know. So,
we're not live.
But yeah, we're alive, but we're not live.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
So so that's one. All right. That was acting. Okay.
And then I made a micro short with my kids called My Sister's an Alien. So that's stars both of my 2 youngest kids in that one. And then I have a short film called Ludella. That was my directorial debut.
Okay.
And another film called Danny Don't. That was something I co-directed with a friend, and I'm trying to remember what else. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll come back to it as we talk about the others. Maybe they'll pop up. If not, we'll post links. I'm sure.
Yes.
But so let's start with, you said with My Sister's an Alien, right?
Yes.
So micro. How did this come? Is this just something that was obviously a passion project you just wanted to do with your?
It was a practice film.
Okay.
So
all right.
I knew I wanted to compete in the 21 Days of Horror film competition. So I thought, well, maybe I'll film it on my iPhone.
Okay.
So I wanted to do a practice film, and that's what My Sister's an Alien was. And I literally wrote it on a few sheets of notebook paper. I never ended up typing it up into a document.
True indie film right there.
And then even the shot list was just notebook and pencil.
That's awesome.
And it was good practice for me to direct my kids. They have been acting and taking acting lessons and already been on a couple film sets. But for me, it was good directing practice.
Right. So, which is awesome.
It was every time I said cut, they were like, okay, are we going to do this part now? This part? And I'm like, just wait, we're going to actually do that one again. They're like, what?
If you can direct your own children and make it an award-winning or a film, then you can pretty much direct anybody else. So
it definitely was a good test in patience.
Awesome. And so then what's you said the next one was your directorial debut?
Yeah, Ludella.
Ludella.
Yeah, so that one made almost exactly a year ago we were filming that. So.
And can you tell us a little bit about that one without giving too much away? I know shorts are sometimes hard to do that with, but
yeah, it's actually 18 minutes long.
Okay, all right, so maybe.
And which is weird because I think it was only a 9 or 10 page script.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't expect it to be that long.
Right.
But
people are walking by and they actually waved at us. I'm so excited.
So that one was just kind of just something I just wanted to write and just have fun with a couple of friends to make it. But it was kind of inspired by that film with Jodie Foster where she was living in the cabin and had that made-up language. I'm horrible with names and names of movies, but you know what I'm talking about.
I do. And I'm horrible about it as well, but I know exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was kind of inspired by that, but it was there's this cold case and a detective gets reassigned to this case that has open been based on like rumors, and the father's wife is in a nursing home and she's saying things, and things are adding up, and so he's on the case, and kind of nobody will take him seriously, and he takes matters into his own hands.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about your directing experience then on this one. As far as how was it? It was your directorial debut. So like it's being now, not just your kids. You're directing other kids, not grown kids. But
So actually, I ended up directing my kids after this.
Okay, so this was the real practice.
Yeah, it was. But also I wasn't on the camera, but I was for the like my sisters and aunt. So I was doing camera and directing and multi
hats right there. So, but tell us a little bit about the experience as far as being a director on this.
Well, I think I made the mistake of also acting in the film.
Never a mistake. I've seen your acting, and that's never a mistake. Number one, and number two, I can, but I understand.
Yes,
also,
because then it was a lot. It was a lot of questions and a lot of being pulled many different ways on set. When I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready for my character. But it all worked out.
Now that brings up an interesting point. I know some people. We had some people on the show this weekend actually who were wearing both hats, and they leaned on their AD and assistant director. Did you have something like that on this?
I did not have an AD.
So it was just literally you.
Yeah, I didn't even really
know all the hats.
what an AD was or what they really do until more recently.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's been very rare for me to see on the sets that I've been on.
Yes, to have somebody like that you can lean on.
But lately, I've been getting to see what they do, and it really helps the director, I can tell.
It can. Especially, we have friends of the show out there that's their living as an AD. And I'm like, that's what you do?
Yeah.
Like, man. But no, that can help. So, but to not have one and then to wear all those hats, holy moly.
Yeah.
But hey, it worked. You're here. It's indie, and Now, is it something that's you said almost a year ago today that you were filming it? Is this its first festival, or has it been in other festivals
No,
now?
it's been in a couple other festivals. It was in the Horror Hotel, Short Suite, maybe one other. I can't think of another one right now. So that might be all.
Okay, but still, it's again,
a list.
Aha, this is what I test you. But and then let's so then we've covered 3 films. Was there more that we haven't covered yet?
Yeah, so then there was Danny Don't.
Danny Don't.
Yes.
Okay.
So that one was based on a dream I had. And I had woke up and I'm talking about it to my husband Shane, and it was like about him. And then I'm like, a little bit later, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go down to the office and write this out because it feels like it would be a good movie.
And that's always the best ways. And it's just like, you know what? This is it.
Yeah. And then you put a little bit of personal flair to it, and switch characters around of like who was who in the dream. It's a little bit different. So, because it wasn't working the way I dreamt it.
That's so these are all just amazing, the fact that you're out there and doing this, and you're so busy. So obviously you've got all these in, but what's next right now? What I knew you were working on something all the time. So what's currently
coming up next is a feature film called The Obsidian Mirror.
Yes.
So they asked me to be an associate producer to help with their Kickstarter campaign. So basically it was just help push the word. It was like there was no requirement to bring in a certain amount of money or anything like that. It was so cool. It's just like push it out, and it worked. and then after that, they asked me to actually come on with a contract and everything to be the script supervisor continuity. So I will be working like full time on this job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And folks, the Obsidian Mirror is some of us out there may have watched the show, the 3 or 4 people not, but we actually got to see the Obsidian Mirror kind of win some awards in the script stage of it.
And that was at the
Horror Hound. Yeah, at Horror Hound. So to see this now kind of just grow into it, and then actually the writer reached out when he was doing the Kickstarter so we could be aware of it and make sure that we were sharing it around. I didn't know that she was part of it that time. In fact, recently I just found out. I'm like, you're kidding? What? what? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So no, that's really, really cool to hear.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait for something to see this come to life. Honestly, it's going to be truly amazing.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
And now that's going to be, like you said, that's literally coming up like next month? Or,
in a month.
Like literally a month. Okay.
So in September.
It's right, in case you don't know, this is August of 2025. Yeah, that's absolutely cool. So now that's going to take up a pretty good chunk. But do you have anything else that you're kind of like writing on right now that you're working on?
So I wrote a script back in March, and again, I always say it was like for practice, but like
it's always practice.
It's just what you're doing. You're just doing stuff and it was in preparation for the 21 days of horror.
Mm-hmm.
I was just taking different categories and seeing what I could just come up with. So when the time came, like I'd just be prepared and in a writing mode, so I'm gonna make that in November.
Okay, nice.
It's a short film. So I think it's like 6 pages long or so, but I think it's more of like a drama horror. So I think it could be 18 minutes long.
But who knows, right? Well, I won't keep you. I know we've got so much going on here at the Indie Gathering. Obviously, you're like literally everywhere. You're screening right there. You've got screenings. Fortunately, you're right here right now, though.
I did remember the other one.
See, I told you, we get there.
Because it's tomorrow, and I'm like thinking of the ones today. So tomorrow there's a screening for New Face Newsflash. It's a body swap. And that started with the short suite competition last year. My co-writer and I wrote it for it, but we ended up not being able to make it, and we were just like, we should still make it. So then we did, and then we put it out on YouTube, and like I think it's at like 25,000 views now, and like the comments are like, we want part 2. So we wrote 3 more parts to it.
Awesome.
And we already started filming. We're doing more filming next week. So yeah,
there's
like 4 episodes of that.
That's awesome. All right, so I knew we'd come to it. There it is. So for the folks out there that want to keep track of all of this, is there social medias? What's out there as far as how to track you? Website, social media? What do you got?
On YouTube, it's Arcadia Street Productions. You'll know it's mine because it's like a hot pink emblem. It says Arcadia Streets and like a little heart in the film strip thingy. And then on other socials, it's just my name, Heather Bayles. So Bayles.
There it is. So I tell you what, thank you again so much for joining us here and talking and getting that. Folks, make sure you check this out, because I've been very, very fortunate to be on set with this one, and the acting literally stuffed her in a trunk for like 3
His acting, he's pretty scary.
I'm just scary looking. That was all I had to be.
I know, when you open those doors.
So thank you again. We'll get you out of here, back to the Indie Gathering. Folks, thanks for joining us on Indie Films Backstage, taking you backstage behind today's best independent films. We'll see you next time.
Bye.